there's some cities and some states that are a little iffy about it, but majority of the 50 states allow it.
You always got Vegas.
Yeah.
Whatever happens in Vegas, right? You can always go to Vegas and get whatever you want done.
Yeah,
Whatever you want, like it's.
The ones that are iffy about it are making a real weak stand. The gay community just gonna tumble right over them.
Yeah, and then
say they accept it.
And then whoever's in control right now, chances are there's going to be another homosexual or transgender individual running it shortly after.
Right.
It's an ugly sight to see the condition of our people and the things that we lust after in this world versus what we're supposed to be focused on, according to the Bible, according to God. It's like, you got that? Bible shot.
Right. You say Acts
19, starting at 3.
Okay. Acts chapter 19 and verse 3. And he said unto them, unto what then were you baptized?
He's pretty much asking, like who trained you up? Like, where did you get your knowledge of the Bible from? Or where did you get your knowledge of the law, statutes, commandments from? I mean, you got 1,000,001. I'm sick of that word can't. You got 1,000,001 organizations or school of thoughts or book clubs outside of Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism, Buddhism, this, that, and the third. Where did they get their teachings from? That's what Paul's asking them. Yeah.
And they said unto John's baptism.
All right, so now these brothers learned after John. Now at the time before Yahushua came on the scene, John's baptism was the official representation. John had zeal for the incarnation of Elijah. But now Yahushua was on the scene, because this is Paul talking to him, so Yahushua was already come and gone. So Paul's sitting there chopping up and trying to get their pedigree, trying to have them run their pedigree down. And they're saying, we're baptizing after John. That's what they stuck with. That's not what they. That's being an example of that. We weren't supposed to learn John's baptism anymore after Yahushua came with his baptism of the word and with fire. It's like, you good?
Then said Paul, John verily baptized with the baptism of repentance.
You sure did. You sure did. And it was like, you good? Who was next on deck? Little black boys and little white girls. Now that imagery in itself destroys the black and Hispanic type in and do their how would I say it? To do their job. Martin Luther King did his part.
Yeah, that was the end of
that. And then also, John's baptism after Yahushua came into play. That was null and void. But you still got the churches. It's like, this is in the Bible, that same book in the New Testament that everybody church got. That same book. Now again, they might have a different version, so it might look a little bit different. Words might be missing. Definitions may have been changed. But it's the same book. Paul is saying, Paul is saying how John was setting the stage for Yahushua and Yahushua baptism. We ain't supposed to do his baptism no more. You put a homosexual in the water, baptize him in John's baptism, he's going to come up with what homosexual. Ain't nothing changed. I don't know what the politically correct term for people practicing bestiality is yet, but you put one of them in the water, they're going to come up a wet pool still. None of that changed. It's like it.
Unlawful sex.
Unlawful sex. They ain't fornicators, damn it. Don't be like Esau. Don't do that. Leave the peanut butter alone. Just don't be that guy. It's like 19 and 13.
Somebody was assaulted and gave this address and said 50 feet away.
You're saying that they outside?
Somebody got shot 500 feet away.
That's what just happened?
Yeah, 2 things happened.
It wasn't one of ours.
No.
We wouldn't know it's right till later.
So we don't know if they Israelite.
It's near you, close and diligent. I would always recommend what I started doing coming from Milwaukee is I was coming up from Minnesota too. And I was going down to Chicago.
Later on.
And those are hours away from me. Chicago, an hour and a half depending on how you're driving. Might probably do it in an hour. Minneapolis, that's a good 5-hour drive. But because those were the brothers that were closest around me at that time, that's who I would rock with when I had the opportunity to do it. Don't make no excuse like it's too far. We ain't got the money. If you need help like that, contact the school nearest you and see what we can't work out. Now again, individual, like we're not rich people like that either. Together though, we've got a lot of resources at our stand by their back on again what they always say. You know, the first thing that they let you read once you come off the slave ship. The first, you know, they only got 1 or 2 books when you go to jail, the Bible and Quran that they offer you.
Right.
I understand the dogma, but this Bible is our blueprint to come back home. You know, just check in with school. Go to ISUPK.com. Go to the contact list. Look up whatever city, whatever state's closest to you. Get in contact with the brothers. At least sit down at the table and have the conversation. Don't get your counsel from social media. Don't go on YouTube. Don't go on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever other platform they got out there and expect that you're going to find the truth. Now, you might come across UPK members in those social media platforms, and you can definitely confide in them. And I ain't just saying that you defer to the preaching prophets of the I.S.U.P.K or the Commander GEN.YAHANNA.
Right.
That's just my advice. You can take it, you can leave it, no sweat. But there's also no harm in doing this either. And then when you get those orders, when you get that counsel, that advice, you should follow it. If you're a brother or sister in the school, you get an order, follow the order through. And watch the positive effect take place that's supposed to happen.
Right.
If you get counsel, if you get advice, those aren't orders. You ain't got to do it. But why not give it a shot? We've been trying everything else that has not been working. Otherwise, we wouldn't need counseling no more. Give it a shot. At least sit down and have that conversation. Be safe out there. But Salaki, you got that?
Right. Got it.
Okay.
Acts chapter 19 and verse 13. Then certain of the vagabond Jews.
The vagabond Jews. Let's look up vagabond Jew also. So keep reading on that. We're gonna look up vagabond.
Exorcists.
And Exorcist. We all saw that movie. We know that you guys, you know, Satan living up inside you, turning your face green, head spinning around, you're walking backwards down the stairs. Again, you know, that's the Christian cinematic view of what a demon is, and what a man of God is supposed to be. We've seen what happened to all those dudes. Like pretty much every preacher, every pastor that they brought in there got killed. So I could go ahead.
Took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits.
No, it's like you back up a little bit. Who told them to go out there?
Certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them.
Took upon them? X, Y, and Z told them go out there? Go get you some exorcists and some vagabond Jews and go out there and do this? They just, no? I didn't think so. It's like you got it.
Took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits, the name of the Lord Jesus, saying, we adjure you by Jesus, whom Paul preached.
And then that sounds good. Again, that sounds like Peter Popoff. And
right.
Yeah. And real quick, in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, we got the word vagabond, a word used in the curse pronounced upon Cain. The plural form is found in the imprecatory prayer in Psalm. The sorcerers mentioned in Acts 19 as vagabond Jews were professional exorcists. So this was supposed to be like their job. You know, they must have been ordained. You know, they probably got John's baptism 2 or 3 times. Right, just to make sure. Like,
yeah, they were doing the exorcists do it for money.
Right. Yeah, you gotta pay them to exorcise a demon.
Right.
And again, a demon is not some ghastly figure that lives inside your heart or your mind, making you run up the wall. That's not how this thing works. But slack it.
Right, because the thing about it, people paying that money because they want to see a show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They want to see somebody foam at the mouth and, you know, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Start speaking in weird tongues. They want to see all of that. So that the exorcists, people that were performing exorcisms was getting rich. They seen the power Christ through Apostle Paul, and they're like, oh man, we can make a mint off of this.
Yeah, because the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. And you will give up that money.
Right.
And you will lie to you. It's like you will also lie to your own people and fool them, trick them into giving up their money.
Right.
You know you did not have a bum knee when you walked into that church, and they took you to the side and they said, "Listen, we'll cut you in. You just play this off real quick."
Right.
That is a horrible thing to do to your people.
Right.
For somebody else's gain, because those mega churches are not helping us. They are not housing our people that are on the streets. They are not feeding our poor.
Right.
But they living good off it. It's like you got.
Verse 14. And there were 7 sons of one schemer.
They had the whole family out there. Everybody, just came out the swimming pool, feeling baptized and clean and ready for the spiritual warfare. Good.
A Jew and chief of the priests, which did so.
Now again, these were Israelites. These were Israelites. This is also, and I believe, I don't know if they still got them up on the current videos, but you will see this as one of our disclaimers pretty much anytime you look at a UPK video, especially some of the older ones. Acts 19 and 13 through 16. Again, we are not affiliated with any organization. We are not those vagabond Jews who's got our 7 sons and cheerleaders, getting ready to put on a show for y'all. Right. This isn't that. Go ahead.
And the evil spirit answered and said, Jesus I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye?
Like he didn't even recognize their authority. And something that Captain's I brought up a while back, Jesus I know and Paul I know, that demon even went in rank order.
Right, yeah.
That unclean spirit even knew to go in a rank order.
Right. Because the demons have a rank system among themselves, Right, yeah, exactly. When they remember one called themselves Legion, and you look at another name for the word Legion, it means army.
Army or me.
Right.
So I mean, if you a whore, if you a whoremonger, if you a drug addict, if you a drunk, if you are a fornicator, if you're an idolater, you got a legion of demons on you. It's not it's not that hocus pocus that looks good on a movie screen. That's not how demons operate. It's not you stick a man who's got a legion on him into a pool, baptized in the name of John. You bring him back up. He's just gonna be a wet legion now. That's not gonna fix him. This does not work that way. But again, that's what they teach in the Christian churches. That's what Martin Luther King almost tried to do with the whole civil rights thing. He wanted to get that spirit of hate off of us, because that's a demon too. And again, we see what happened to him. The same thing that happened to these men right here coming up. It's like, yeah.
Verse 16. And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them.
Jumped on them, man. He wanted to go throw hands with them, God.
And overcame them.
That means it worked. And not only did he attempt it, he succeeded it. Go ahead.
And prevailed against them.
And prevailed. He won. There was the 7 boys, the Shiva, the vagabond Jew, and the exorcist. So that's like 10 people right there.
Right.
They just got whooped. They just got dog walked. Go ahead. So
that they fled out of that house naked and wounded.
They were put to shame. They were put to shame. And again, that demon did not respect their authority at all. They came up. It's like, I'm just trying to look for this one televangelist name. Kenneth Copeland churches, where they put the laying of the hands on you. They'll take your walker, chuck it across the room. drop you on the forehead like they slap the hell out of you.
Right.
They slap the hell out of you, and you just trick somebody's grandma to sow $1,000 seed to buy a little vial of holy water or a blessed rag off of Big Mama's quilt or something like that. It's
Right.
crazy what they got people out here doing and believing.
Right.
It's like good.
Right. And just like say for instance, as the I.S.U.P.K starts to gain more and more power,
More and more,
and they start to diminish, what are they gonna do? They're gonna come around just like Skiba and his sons to the camp speakers. It's gonna be more of them coming around. But they ain't come to hear the truth. They coming to see what it is that we actually doing, where the people is listening to us.
So so they can take back home.
Right, exactly. Right. Next thing you know, they be trying to show up in our black and trying to imitate what we do, trying to be some Christian knockoff version and all that. They can, but at the same time though, they're not gonna understand it because it's not be closed to them.
And it's such a shame to steal from the home of the truth. Try to sneak that back in your house and pass it off as maybe an original thought or some grand revelation. Again, Lord be with you. Lord be with you, because unless you're with the UPK, those demons are gonna rent your clothes and you're gonna be running for the hills. This is not a game that we can be playing, and these damn sure ain't the times to be playing them.
Right.
Like I be telling a lot of people, get your head out the gutter and get into the game. Like it is on. And if we don't see that by now, I don't know what's gonna wake you up. It's like, let me get Ezekiel 34 real quick, because the Most High is, he built the UPK, he established the UPK to get our people back home, to get those demons off. I remember Commander GEN.YAHANNA was telling a story about they had to take over a little project spot with against these Haitians, Haitian drug dealers that were known. Them Haitians are crazy, man, and them Levites, man, they get it in. They didn't get rent though. They didn't get made ashamed. They put a stop to the problems that was going on. And all them brothers walked away with their lives, because those people that stood against them, they saw their authority. And it's a mighty thing to be in these ranks in the UPK. And again, everybody wants to talk about we don't fall on man, we worship just for you to hate.
Right.
When he's just a brother that put in work. He was getting the chickens up, and then they got backed up.
Right. And that's what says humility comes before honor.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
And again, you got a lot of people out there who take this word for granted. And when that truth started coming out, they wanted to shape and mold it for themselves, for their own purposes. Because again, they didn't want to get told what to do, and it's something that they did not want to stop doing. Some maybe they couldn't live up to the hype. A lot of people can't. That's okay. That's what we're here for. That's why we do this. It's like you got that. Because this is what's happening. 34 and 10 Bible shot. Because this is what's happening. The Most High, again, like that first verse, the first one that we had read, I believe in Jeremiah 23 and 23, when it's like, I'm paraphrasing, am I a God that's far off? No. Like, he's coming for his people. He's doing it daily. He's been doing it hardcore since 69. He did it before then with the brothers that came up, like Abbott Bivens. And that brother was not alone either. It's like you get it.
Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 10. Thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hand.
Like, he coming back for the people that you've been stealing from and swindling. If you're a drug dealer leading your people in the wrong direction, I can't even say you forcing that drug on them. Some of you are. Human trafficking is still real, and drugs is a huge part of that, and prostitution. He's coming back for his people that you took from him. The same thing with them preachers. Same thing with those civil rights leaders. Same thing with this Black Lives Matter movement. Because as long as you're entwined with those organizations, they give you an allowance to do pretty much whatever you want. You can live whatever kind of life you want, just as long as that when they call on you, when they call on you to open your wallet, when they call on you to move this, that, or the third around, to show up in mass numbers for no real effect, that you're gonna do it. And you can wear this banner with them, say that I fought the good fight, I stood there with them, and again, it's gonna come to nothing. It's not gonna benefit us any more than what Martin Luther King's nightmare did to us. His dream didn't get better for us. That dream turned into, a night terrors. Like it goes hard, and it goes for generations. You got families that got seriously messed up by this.
Right.
And but again, we get to enjoy so many more freedoms and rights. Who cares about voting? All right. So we did all this for the right to vote, or for the right to again share a restaurant with them, to ride the bus with them. What did that do for us?
Right.
Like seriously, at all? What did that do for us? What's the benefit of it? I mean, if you gotta walk 10 miles for work, at least you're gonna be healthy. You're gonna be fit. You ain't gonna be broke. If you gotta eat at your family's house, you're gonna be fed with some good food.
Right.
I mean, you can, yeah.
Think about it. We had our own buses though.
We had our own. We had an airport.
Right. Right.
We had our hospitals. We had our schools.
Right. We had banks.
Yeah, we were self-sufficient.
Right.
And again, we can go on and on and on and on about the stats. It took over a year for $1 to leave our community. And Tulsa and Rosewood were not the only examples of this too.
Harlem.
Yeah, Harlem. There you go.
We got several others.
Yeah, the Harlem Renaissance.
Right. Right.
Well, it's like it wouldn't have been before the Harlem Renaissance. No, that was our Renaissance. Yeah.
That's ours. But I'm talking about as far as what he's saying.
Right.
The Harlem Renaissance pretty much was something that was a big thing for us. Otherwise, the Byzantine Empire, which is way before Harlem or Tulsa, the Byzantines years ago, centuries ago, I should say. But yeah.
Right.
So go ahead.
Well, we had that popping all over the country because we did business with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we did
course,
business,
yeah.
We did business also with, other countries.
Of course.
Directly with us.
Yeah.
That's the reason why when they had, the depressions and all of that, and they had the, stock market crashes and all of that, that stuff really didn't affect us.
At all.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, you had those of us that worked for, some of us that work for them because, this is, we're free, not everybody's free.
Right.
You got some free and some bound, just like what you see in the scripture. But for the most part, we didn't have to deal with them. We were self-sufficient.
Our families were together.
Right.
Our schools were educated. They were institutions. We ain't got no more HBCUs no more, right?
Right.
For what? To pretend you Greek? Like, all right, yeah. So we can stomp the hell out of a yard. Okay. And then what? And then what after that?
Right. We were learning how to be doctors and dentists and learn how to be, all types of different, things that society needed. Then you had the dudes that knew how to lay brick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Dudes that were carpenters, dudes that knew how to build a city.
Yeah, functional skill sets,
Right.
practical knowledge, moral responsibility also.
Right.
We weren't like that Harvard professor. I'm not saying this is the only reason why he got into medical practice. I believe he was like an MD. Experimenting with skin to make his shoes. What was gonna be the best leather that he could find? Turns out it was off the leg of a black man.
Right.
Who does that?
Right. The devil.
That's some weird stuff, man.
Yeah.
That is some weird stuff.
They were making knife handles out of Gadites' bones.
There you go. Now, and how do I say this? You've got a lot of examples of this type of I don't know what the direct term would be, but necro lust. Let's just shorten it for that. where all over the world you've got instances of not only individuals but tribes who have done some pretty crazy stuff with a dead body. Some of it was ceremonial use. Some of it was because they were cannibals. And we hear a lot about that as far as our Aztec brothers. As far as the cannibalism goes, I haven't done too much research into that. I'm not going to say yay or nay on it. I know that we've broken the law before, so for us to go that far seems even a little extensive for us. But I mean, that's something worth flipping through a couple pages for. But look at the intentions behind what this guy is doing, and it's supposed to be in the modern civilized world. If anything, I mean, we could have chalked it up to the Aztecs being some crazy savages. At the very least, they could have gotten away with that kind of cloak on them. But this guy was a Harvard professor experimenting with leather. He found that the best leather was human leather, more specifically from a black man, to make his shoes. They were the most comfortable shoes he ever had. And so, like cigar cases, that's the people that we fought so hard to be integrated with. To teach our students, to teach our family, our kids.
Right.
And
you gotta look at all blacks.
Right.
You say that if you studying blacks, they'll shovel money at you because they know that you're gonna be racist with it.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing. That's how a lot of them was getting rich. You say that blacks are inferior, or blacks have skulls close to a monkey, and you want to do a study on this, they're going to shovel money at you.
Yeah, they got paid off that, and then they got their feelings hurt.
Right.
Then they got their feelings hurt. Their dreams destroyed. Who was it? Jesse Owens, who whooped that German in the Olympics?
Right.
Like not by a little bit either. Like, he smoked him.
Yeah.
He man.
And Hitler was,
Hitler was pissed.
Yeah. Which I don't even understand how you even come up with the idea that they were superior, physically superior to us. I mean, think about it. You had a lot of athletes in Europe that were, way back then, going all the way back.
Yeah.
Even boxing, you had boxing champions back then going back to the 1800s. They one specifically that nobody could beat. I can't think of this dude's name. He was back in the early 1800s, early or late 1800s, one of the two. But he was just, he had insane numbers of victory.
And then for their entertainment too, sorry, just kind of piggyback on that. For their entertainment too, all the things that we do for them,
right?
From our music and our movies, our dance culture, our style of clothes, everything. They didn't even have to strip it from us at this point. We're just giving it away for free, and then we're adopting a lot of their styles.
Right.
Just, I don't. This whole skinny jean thing, I still don't get it. I still don't get it. Like, you wearing a belt too. You got skinny jeans hanging off your ass, and you got a belt on. Like, put it to use. I saw this one brother. His pants. He had a long jacket on, but his pants were like down to his knees pretty much, and he's sitting there waddling. I mean, walking. That's got to be uncomfortable, man. And you can't think you look good. If you get into a fight, if a dog come chase, like, it ain't even got to be like a street beef or nothing like that. If a dog come chasing you, my man, you're done. That Chihuahua's got you. Like, pull your pants. You got a belt on, bro. I don't get it. These kids nowadays. These kids nowadays.
Sagging really first started back when I was in like the 6th grade. We didn't even call it that.
Yeah, they're getting
dumpy, right? Well, we ain't do it like what they do it nowadays.
Yeah, no.
But we were doing it. It was like a sign of rebellion, against the system and everything, pretty much. I mean, when you got a people that have no culture, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people go to grab their own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we would walk down the halls like, piss the teachers off and everything. It was us against them type of thing. You know? Well, that's one of the reasons why, I tell people, you know, if a brother sagging his pants, you got to give him a reason not to. You know what I'm saying? He's sagging because he don't know who the hell he even is or how.
Yeah, Sagan is a very humble man. Know that you could come holler.
Yeah, like
You know what I'm saying? And on the streets later.
Yeah, they took it from there. You got pants with an elastic waist. Ain't no way. I mean, unless you were small and then you getting like an extra large, ain't no way that should be hanging off your body at all. But they like I've seen these brothers literally like pull them down, like they getting dressed or something like that for the yard or something like that. You know, fixing their shirt, they got their shoes on, they fixing their pants real quick, and then right at the last little bit, they pull their butt out, and they supposed like that. That's supposed to be your thugs nowadays. That's supposed to be your leaders.
You know what? There's two people that nobody ever checks for doing the same exact thing. Black women and young white boys. They imitate black men. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, I got a question, a lot of people's intentions, you know. Just like one time I was chilling on the porch in Indianapolis. And like it's an elementary school right across the street, and you got a basketball court out there, and people just be shooting ball and all that, right? Devil rides by when his dumb ass shouldn't even be in our neighborhood in the first damn place. Some old devil probably looking for some little boy, and he rides past, bro, your damn pants off, talking to one of them boys over there. You know what I'm saying? It was on the basketball court, you know. But at the same time, though, the lesbian who's imitating the black man, if they say he ain't no goddamn good, they're sagging his pants and imitating. No one says anything to her. No one says anything to that little white boy that's imitating him too. So I can't do, you know, I can't help but to question a lot of people's intentions because she acting like a damn dude. You know what I'm saying? She running around like a dude, sagging herself, showing her ass. You know what I'm saying? You know, and nobody's saying anything. Everybody is praising her and talking about how she's, you know, more nigga than any nigga and all that. You know, they love women. You know, and the white boy, that's my people right there. That's the white boy. You know, he's praised and all of that. And really, it's not sagging pants that people hate. It's them black boys that they hate. So they hate you regardless of how you dress or whatever. And all the niggas we found like lynched and hung on all those pictures, none of them were sagging. They had on button downs. They were dressed
looking
like
sharp.
Yeah.
Looking sharp.
Right. They had button downs. You ever notice most of them had button downs on and khakis?
Yeah. Looking clean cut, looking intelligent.
Right.
And how would I say it? And they probably had them hands too. Like, I mean, like, we were never meant to be prissy men.
Right.
We were never meant to be butch women. We got one more scripture, SKYPE, sir. If I could, Matthew chapter 7, verse 22. But that's the leadership that we got nowadays at Phillips. And it's been going on like this for a long time. You know, it didn't just start with Martin Luther King. There are biblical records of leaders doing the same things, you know, battling against Christ, your Sadducees and Pharisees and scribes and whatnot. Who was it? Nicodemus, who taking the counsel with the Pharisees plotting against them. Again, that was our own people of the circumcision. And the leadership still exists today. You got a lot of celebrities out there, a lot of athletes, a lot of entertainers, actors, musicians. Artists that are leading our not only our children but are also our adults down a very dangerous path. We're not meant to be joined hand in hand with everybody. We're not meant to take up after those vagabond Jews who led us into a burning house. Just later, you know, it did all that work to get us into that house just to see it get set on fire, just to turn around and say, well, all right. After the damage has been done, I think I led my people into a burning house. It's like
after this, grab Proverbs 11:21.
Okay.
About the
seven.
Yeah, 7 and 22 and 23.
Okay. So next, Proverbs
11:21. That'll be his last scripture right now.
Okay.
Because you still got a lot of those a lot of prophets, so-called prophets, out there nowadays. But they're not always necessarily going to be in your Christian church, though. These are going to be those people. You got a lot of street prophets out there too, hood prophets. It's not just how would I say? It's not just following the things that they teach and preach and tell you, but also taking their lifestyle as an example to live by too. They might not have ever told you, like Jay-Z rapping to the general world, but you gonna take that as personal influence that this is what you should start doing. And again, it's portrayed all throughout the media, hitting you from every angle. It's a deadly way to live. It's a very risky way to live. It will catch up with you at some point in time. And you certainly don't want to see your kids go down that road. So we need to start taking those steps in the right direction to be aware of these false prophets, and what it's going to take to properly come back home and to break free of that mindset. But Slack, you got it?
Matthew chapter 7, verse 22. Many will say to me in that day.
And there will be many. And that day, we're talking about today. We're talking about yesterday. We're talking about Malcolm X, it's like not Malcolm, well, his day too, but MLK's day. We're talking about tomorrow. Until Yahushua come back, you're going to have these people coming left and right, saying this, that, and the third. Now, we say we the home of the truth. No sweat. 1 John 4:1, try the spirit. Go to that source. Give it a shot. And see what comes out of it. If you're not soft, I mean, maybe you'll make it through the ranks. And you'll be able to have the discipline and the intelligence to follow orders. It's like, good.
Many will say to me in that day, Lord,
Good.
have we not prophesied in thy name?
We read the Bible too. Haven't we made some predictions and it sounded good? It's like
That's right. Prophesy.
Okay.
Yeah. Prophesy.
So what? They got this book in their hand. They got some fringes on their t-shirt. Haven't we done the same in your name, Lord? It's like, yeah.
Have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils?
Like, we fix the people too. We be helping the homeless. We get brothers off drugs. We getting sisters off the strip pole out of the abortion clinic. We doing this in your name, Lord.
And in thy name done many wonderful works?
We made this thing look good for you. In your name, Father, Lord, Yahushua. Go ahead.
Verse 23. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you.
Never knew you. He didn't roll with you. He didn't kick it with you. Them demons didn't know you. They recognized Yahushua and Paul's authority, but you were no never mind to them. Go ahead.
Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
And that's going to be the end result. And then now it's like you wanted Proverbs
11 and 21.
11 and 21.
You guys said something, so if I was you, I'll get that.
Come on.
It's pretty much on top of it. It's pretty much what you were saying. I'll let you break it down.
And again,
it's self-explanatory.
All right, come on. If they genuinely feel that they are making a difference and trying to do the Lord's work, I understand the mindset. I understand the thought process that they're going through. But if you're not one body, and again, what they love to say is, not everybody can have the whole truth. Now, we just so happen to say the exact opposite, that we got the truth. We got the 100% unadulterated truth, and we ain't giving it up for nothing. Nobody else is saying that. They talk about that one body having many members. All that means is UPK Harlem, UPK Philly, UPK DC, UPK Florida, UPK Texas, UPK Mexico, UPK Brazil, UPK West Coast, UPK Midwest, UPK Canada, UPK Europe. That's many parts of one body, many members. And to even go deeper into that, that one brother in one school having construction skills and being able to build all the camp equipment. Another brother being a very good reader or a proud speaker and very, very knowledgeable about breaking down the scriptures. Precept King. Another brother who, everybody's got their own skill sets. A sister who can cook, a sister who can braid, a brother who maybe he's got his license and he's a great driver. Maybe some of the other brothers ain't got their license yet, so that might be one of his main functions. Whatever office your zone or the Most High gives you, those are the different members of that part of the body. It's not meant to be divided. It's like go ahead. Proverbs 11.
Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
And yeah, very similar to that as we've seen back in Ezekiel. It's like I don't even think we finished that one, but Ezekiel 34:10, that he is against those shepherds and he's coming back for his flock. And if you're one of those men that again harmed Israel, whether you a heathen or not, whether you are the circumcision or you're not, the wicked shall not be unpunished. Martin Luther King did not go unpunished. Malcolm X did not go unpunished. Now that brother, I wouldn't say he was as far gone as Martin Luther King, but dipping into Islam, that's a whole nother racist philosophy and school of thought that had idol worship behind that too. So I mean, he went off for a different reason, but that brother still went off. He was still wicked. He did not go unpunished. Creflo Dollar, what's his name? T.D. Jakes? No, Eddie Long. That one that died?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did not go unpunished. The crimes that he was committing against his people, not only leading them straight with that Christianity garbage, but also being a pedophile and a child molester. He did not go unpunished. So like, finish that up.
But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
You want to say something?
You had a question.
So you had a question. So like,
Also, Malcolm X, he was a close family second.
Yeah, man.
The seat, he was, they praising him just like Martin Luther King.
Yeah. They got statues for him too.
Right, exactly. And he pretty much was kind of on the same stuff. He went over to Mecca and all that they told him not to do.
Right.
But at the same time, he seen who was really running the show, and he tried to change up real quick, and that's when they figured it's better to go ahead and make him, go ahead and take him on out, just like what they did with Martin Luther King. Before he can say more.
And then look at the alliances that he was building up to, just like Martin Luther King.
Right.
It was it was eventually worked against their own people.
Right.
That none of their movements did anything to benefit the people. It gave them a little inspiration, gave them a little hope. It looked good from a distance. But once everything started coming out and we saw the truth of it, look at the mess that they left us in. We here to dig us back out. The UPK is here to dig us back out of this. We're going to do it together. We're going to do it as one body because, it's like you read that last part again.
But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
When Yahushua come back, our King, Yahushua come back to rule this nation, the world that we know now will be null and void. After a time, after a couple of generations, we had no recollection of this. Rulership of an Israelite, that's going to be our...
They don't never sit back and he tell that woman she should leave her husband.
Yep.
And then she go into calamity. Where's he at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nowhere to be found.
Right, nowhere to be found.
And that's a great tool that they use against us. And again, it's been working. It's been working. But again, that seed will be delivered. He's coming back for his flock. And he's going to be coming for you shepherds that took his people out.
Right.
Because the wicked will not go unpunished.
Right.
And you're going to come at that time when you're going to want to be acknowledged for all this glorious work that you've done, and you're going to get completely ignored. You're going to get brushed off.
Right.
That's why we got to stay away from idolatrous Well, again, you don't want to follow no man. You certainly don't follow Martin Luther King example. With that, we're gonna close it up, clap it up. Again, we are the I.S.U.P.K, Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, established in 1969, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are I.S.U.P.K, Minneapolis. Well, actually, Twin Cities, pretty much. Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota in general. Pay your tithes. We got some high holidays coming up, so let's get with it. With that, Imagine. All right, I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We have the I.S.U.P.K started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 month period. It's like it. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find it in the book of Numbers, chapter 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Now, you can go to ISUPK.com, scroll down to the Donate Now button. You can pay your tithes that way, or you can go through the Cash App at $UPK tithes. And if you're in the local area, we got a Cash App here from Minneapolis too, $UPK Minneapolis. And same thing for the priest fund too. You can use either location for that as well. Free will offering for the priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, we got the Feast of Purim coming up at the end of February. Start making your plans for the Passover now coming up in April. It's going to be down there in Texas. Start making your travel arrangements now. Start making your hotel and your lodging arrangements now. Take off for work ahead of time, just so that, at the last minute, we ain't pissing nobody off when we come back. And always check in. You can go to ISUPK.com, check in with your region to see what their specific plans are for travel and for lodging, if they have any. Otherwise, just stay tuned. If anybody wants to be a trooper, it's like if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. They need your boots, your shirt, your pant, your headband, and your scarf. And with that, Lapanya Akadam, turn the face to east. Do the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abinau, Sabasamai, Kudash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakutka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamai, Natalana, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalakina, Tabawakina, Kasalakina, Tabawakina, Wala'ah, Karinai, Banasai one, a ball, I was shy now, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'ala, Wahata Park, like Lawalani, Lawalani, select. Aman.
Lord's Prayer in English.
Our Father,
which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us of our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Well, forever. So be it.
For to bless Israel in the Hebrew, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Who worked now.
Rocky now.
SHALAM.
I.S.U.P.K.
وهايا سباري Barak Rapa'ah Magan
Gun.
At this time, you can say the name of a loved one once. Everyone will repeat that name once. If you're following us on Facebook and on YouTube, you can type the name in of a loved one, and we will repeat that also.
I.S.U.P.K. Minneapolis.
I.S.U.P.K. Minneapolis.
The Hall family.
The Hall family.
Todd family.
Todd family.
Puckett family.
Puckett family.
Nelson family.
Nelson family.
Cook family.
Cook family.
All destroyed of Israel.
All destroyed of Israel. Israelite School U.P.K.
Israelite School U.P.K.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
Benjamin. Jamie.
Whitney.
Anna Lee.
Raphael.
The McIntosh family. Check online real quick.
House of Torah. I.S.U.P.K. Minneapolis.
I.S.U.P.K. Minneapolis.
All destroyed of Israel.
All destroyed of Israel. I don't see anything online.
Pashiala.
Kapash.
Kwamba
Bar. The Barma. I just like we met a lot of brothers that had kids recently. All the newborns in Israel.
Right. That's correct. BK power structure. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
And
all things living.
Yahweh.
The name of Yahushua.
Listen
to us now.
to us now.
Right now. That he was a curse. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. That speak against us. Thy prophets. The teachers. Princes. Priests. The Israelite brothers in the school. Said he was a curse. Punishment and destruction. To the heathen. And shake loose. The treasure. Of the rich of Israel. That refuse to give to the school. Force their riches. Into thy sanctuary. And evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the Edomites. And the nation. And their drug dealers. The court system. The prison system. Land parenthood. All the governments of our enemies. Amalek synagogues and armies. Roman Catholic Church. Pope. Islam. Christianity. Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Popsicle Matata. Gay movement. The lesbian movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. NASA space program. Army.
Marines.
Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airways. Cable access channel. And the radio channel. Convict the spirit. Of any of thy people. That seek to stop us. And bring swift destruction. To all the heathen. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro. Through the earth. And consume them. Let the plague shake. The house of the thief. And the murderer. The Yahushua. Michael and Gabriel. Down with the flying saucers. And punish all the heathen. That come up against us. As we speak thy word. Cause to be known. By all. That is the angels that have done it. Cause to be spread. Through the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you always. So be it. Sar
means return. Men of Israel. I was like,
you want?
Hey,
Men of Israel. Shabbat, Majid, Barak, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Yazmatah, courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel. Amar Shabbat, Amaju, Barak,
Yahweh Shema,
Hashem Yahushua.
Shalom Yahweh
Yazmatah,
I got you.